Welcome to the Loose and Moose podcast.
I'm Luce.
And I'm Moose.
Two unlikely best friends that I guess love the sound of their own voice, so decided to hit record.
Are we ready for it?
That's good. That's good.
That was pretty good.
Welcome to our Taylor Swift themed episode. I know everyone is so excited for this.
Hey, even I am.
You are.
I'm trying to
You
make out
love
that I'm
Taylor
not, but
Swift.
I'm fucking down for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you love her.
I do. I absolutely do.
So when this episode drops is when I'm getting ready to go to Melbourne for the Eras tour. So we both love Taylor Swift and we're both really excited. So we thought we'd do a whole episode dedicated to her.
Are we both really excited?
I gave you the opportunity to be excited and you didn't take it.
Sorry, you didn't let me win the lotto to buy the tickets for it, but I'm sure you'll have a really good time.
I get that. It was hard, but I did send you a text message to see if there's any chance maybe you would come to Melbourne with me to go to the Eras tour. And you did not reply, so I just took that as a no. And
Just flat out no response.
yeah,
Yep.
you're probably just too sad that you and Maddie go.
Yes, I was.
So yeah, me and Em will go and we'll have the best time ever. I'm so excited, and I guess you can just sit at home and watch my TikToks and my Instagram story and live vicariously through me.
Perfect. Can't wait. Moving right along. Have you got a thing of the week?
Yeah, mine is just a thing of the week that I've been thinking about, though, not a Taylor Swift one. Is that
Yeah, I
you do a
went with
Taylor
the
Swift
same.
one?
I thought I would keep the start non.
Yeah, cool. So we had our first Loose and Moose beach day the other day. I've been saying for years I wanted to go to the beach with the kids.
Yep.
And it was just it's just the thing of the week because I've been thinking about it nonstop. Where I was like, what am I supposed to wear when I go to the beach with kids? Like, I just had this weird feeling like, am I allowed to wear a bikini in front of kids? Like, are they going to think it's inappropriate? And but they're kids, they don't know anything. So, and then I spent so long overthinking that. I was looking at all my bathers and trying to decide what I wear, what I should. I don't know, like. And I just wore my most conservative bikini that I had, and I remember thinking like, I don't know, the kids are going to be like, ew, look at Lucy or something. I don't know what. That was my thought in my head. And of course they didn't. They're kids. It's as you become an adult, you get all this like body shame about it. And you learn those things as an adult. So I should have known, but in my head I was like, oh no, I'm going to scare the kids being in a bikini or whatever. But I also really want to go for a swim. So I just, like I said, I wore my most conservative bikini. And then when I like took everything off to go for a swim, Ella was like staring at me. And I was like, oh no, yeah, I've scared her or whatever. And she just goes, that's a cool bikini. I was like, oh, thanks so much. She goes, yeah, it really suits your vibe.
Oh. So cute, but just the sass levels at the moment is like, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a cool sass. It was like,
Yeah.
I approve, and you're lucky I approve because if not, it would have been embarrassing for you.
It was a really
cute.
nice day though.
Yeah, such a fun day. It was so cute. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, it's the first time of summer that we've also been there. Like, it's just, we live so close to an amazing beach. And of course, it takes 3 months to actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's so hard. It's so hard to just, I feel like every time I have a day off, it's not hot enough to go to the beach. I'm always at work and I'm like, oh, it's such a good beach day.
Yep.
Just need to make more of an effort to go to the beach, I reckon.
Yours actually flows, you've been copying my notes again, haven't you?
Wait, no.
I didn't choose that day, but I did choose like that vibe. So I had a moment on the weekend just gone, which was very similar. Like, I just had a day that was literally, like, I explained it as like my cup was just so full. Like, I did everything. Like, if I could sit there and choose a perfect day, I did all of it. And I was just like, woke up on Sundays. We always do like pancake breakfast. It was kids, did some work, did some podcast stuff, listened to some tunes, more kids stuff, family, and it was just amazing. And I got like Lauren and Ella went out that night, and I was just sort of sitting there. I just had that moment where I'm like, life's amazing. Aww. And it was super cheesy, and I know it was so much cheese, but I'm like, I just want to tell people that I'm having just such a good time.
I love that.
And then I had a thought. I'm like, everyone, like, we all normally get a couple of days off, right? I'm like, everyone knows what they enjoy, right? If we said, hey, pick your, 2 or 3 things that would make today amazing, like, why don't we just do that on days off?
I know.
Like, because everything I mentioned there does not cost a single cent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, go for a run, read a book, make pancakes, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good point. Why don't I go to the beach more? Because I love the beach.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes.
Do it.
Just get in your car and go. So anyway, mine was very similar to yours. Is like, it was just good to feel good. And I made a point of sort of mentioning that.
That's really cute. I love that. Yay.
So, anyway, Taylor Swift talk.
I'm so excited. We've both kind of going for Reputation vibes. Moose
one of the better albums. We'll get to if it's one of our favourites later on.
Oh, yeah. That's no spoilers. But we've got to visually, if you're not watching visually, if you're listening, Moose is wearing a Lakers hoodie, except it's the logo is silver. And he always brings a few options of what to wear because we've got to plan it, and then I've got to approve the outfit. And then I said, "Oh, that's kind of Reputation vibes. That would be cool." And then I had the Reputation vibes kind of t-shirt to match, and I think it's kind of cute.
And we crushed our promise from last week where we're explaining what we're talking about.
Yeah.
For the people that are on Spotify. Thank you so much for listening.
That's what I was doing there. Sorry if you're already watching, as per Moose's request. I just explained what you can already see, but if you're listening on Spotify, you're welcome.
I guess my question, so this week you're obviously going to the show. I remember the story, but I think it'd be amazing for you to explain because there's a lot of layers to you actually just getting the tickets for the show.
It was the Great War.
Yeah. That's
a Taylor Swift reference.
I got it.
Yeah, I know. Just for anyone listening that didn't get it, I was just explaining it. Honestly, if you know, you know. If you went through that, I feel like we're entitled to some kind of compensation for the emotional turmoil we went through to get these tickets. So for me, I signed up for 2 different pre-sales and for both Sydney and Melbourne. Mm-hmm. And I tried for like one whole entire day. So say the tickets went on sale at 9 a.m. I was on there at 8 a.m. ready to go. I was reading all these tips about how's the best way to get tickets and what not to do. And they said, don't do it on a couple of devices. Just do one because then they'll think you're like a bot or whatever. Yep. So I was just on one device and I tried for Melbourne when on sale at 9, didn't get any. So then I tried for Sydney when they went on sale at 1, didn't get any. And I was literally on my phone the whole day.
Working?
I was not at work that day. Luckily. And then, I reckon I gave up at like 10 p.m. that night because I just didn't want to accept the fact that I'd missed out. So that was pre-sale number 1. Did the exact same thing for pre-sale number 2, missed out. When tickets came on sale, I knew I was going to try again. And then that morning I had the day off and I was lying in bed in the morning scrolling Instagram and I saw someone was at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre lining up and apparently you could get them there. And then I saw a friend, like a girl I know, she was there and I was messaging her and she was in the line and I was like, is the line too crazy? She's like, no, I rushed down here. So I rushed to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre and got in line.
Did you get to push in and go where she was?
No, she said she actually said that, like, bless her, like, what a queen. She was like, I really want you to have this space, but I think I will actually get punched if because everyone is psycho, which fair enough. Like I was psycho for Taylor Swift tickets as well. Yeah. And I'm like, that's okay. I would never even do that anyway because I'd be scared of getting punched.
I was kind of hoping you'd say yes to all the hate that come through. Like, motherfucker, that's my ticket.
Yeah, true. I know the guy that I don't know if you saw the news, like he was on the news because he got a ticket to every single Australian show.
I actually did. Or you've either told me or I did see that pop up.
He's awesome. He's a legend. But he put in the effort. He deserved those tickets. But he got so much hate online about how he was stealing other people's tickets. It was so wild. He spent so much money. He saved up for ages. He literally camped overnight. Like, he deserved it.
And he's not like on selling them or doing crazy. Just genuinely going to all the shows. So
he's just like the biggest fan ever. And like it's one ticket out of hundreds of thousands.
Yep.
And I was like looking at everyone in line thinking I might not even get them. And so I was obviously still trying on my phone. And I just kept saying over and over, I'm so grateful to get Taylor Swift tickets. I'm so grateful to get Taylor Swift tickets. And then like about 2 minutes into the general public sale opening that afternoon, the line hadn't moved at all and I got in on the phone. I don't know if the universe just rewarded me or what. It was so exciting. I was like shaking. I just clicked whatever tickets were available. It was I couldn't even I didn't have time to be strategic about that at all. I just knew I couldn't afford the $1,200 tickets. I couldn't afford the $800 tickets. The next step down, whatever it was, I landed on the ones that are about $450 because it was still like a reserve, and I wanted to spend more because I love her, and it was a special occasion, but I couldn't afford that much. Anyway, so I was just like, oh my God, a reserve, got them. And then I was like shaking, and I was like too scared to even leave the line because I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. I was like sending Em screenshots like, I think I got tickets, and she's freaking out. And I'm like, but I'm scared. I don't know. I ended up turning to the people in line behind me, and I was like, are you guys online right now trying to get tickets? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I think I just got some. And I showed them the screenshot, and they were all excited for me, like celebrating. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm going to leave the line now.
It's safe to go back to my car.
Yeah. By the way, that friend that told me to come line up, she said that she'd already got them online as well in line, and her plan was lining up. She was going to get one for me.
Oh,
how sweet is that?
Bless.
Yeah, I love that. So anyway, yeah, it was very wholesome vibes in this line. Everyone there was just wholesome kind of people. And then on the way home, I got into a car accident. In my getaway car.
I was going to say that was the favourite thing of that, is when you actually posted it and then had that as the soundtrack.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Like the universe has had to balance things out a bit or what. But yeah, just got like sideswiped on a main road, and I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah, love that for me.
You probably still wouldn't have been like, I don't know, did it even click? You're like, oh, fuck it, it's just a car.
Yeah,
I've just got my $400 Taylor Swift tickets.
I didn't even care. It was funny as well because the dude that hit me was freaking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fine. You've got insurance, right? I've got insurance. I'm not bothered. Like, it's fine. And he was like, oh, I don't know. Do you need to call anyone? Say you've been in an accident? And I was like, it's not really an accident. You just kind of like hit me. It's fine.
Yeah. Didn't have the same phone cases and smashed the phone onto the ground.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have the cringe of the week from that interaction. He did, but that's okay. We're all good now. But yeah, that was such a good day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You'd kind of feel bad, like being in the line. I guess you said it's really awesome and wholesome vibes, but imagine being that you're like kind of like, oh fuck, like everyone around me don't have these, and now I'm just gonna like leave. Yeah. Like, sorry guys, I'm just going to the bathroom back soon.
I know, I felt bad. That's the other thing. I felt bad because everyone just wanted the tickets so badly. And the other thing was everyone in the line was staring at the people at the front who were getting their tickets and then screaming and cheering and clapping and being like, I want these tickets. What's going on?
Nice.
Yeah. So hectic scenes, but very, very worth it. And I'm so grateful. I still know people that missed out, and I'm so sorry to those people.
Like half of Australia by the sound of it.
Yeah. She just needs to do more shows.
Do a Pink and just live here for like a month or 2 months like she used to do when she was touring.
I don't know how long she would need to stay here, because have you heard what happens with her tour dates?
No.
Like, have you heard any of the behind the scenes stuff? I don't know the exact details of it, but apparently with all her tour dates, like she'll stay in one city and do a couple of nights in a row, and then it's like a week, maybe 3 or 4 days between that city and the next, because they need to like move her whole entire stage. But apparently when she was doing America, there's 3 stages. So I saw this TikTok explaining where everything goes, and it was wild.
I love that shit, behind the scenes stuff with that, like especially a production as big as what she would have.
And then someone was explaining that she's going to this country, and then the stage needs to be shipped over here. So while that's being shipped, that's going to take 3 weeks to get from one country to another. That's when this one here has already been shipped, because while that was being shipped, she was doing the shows in this city, and she's got 3 stages moving around the world, and while she's doing like a little stint. So we're like, just doing more shows. And she's like, probably like...
It's not as easy to do that, because then these next 3 countries have just delayed everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, no wonder she's not coming to Adelaide. It's probably just not worth it.
No.
Like 2 dates in Australia, that's it. I don't know. It's very sad, but like when you think about the logistics of it all, it's pretty insane.
And to come to Australia, like it's huge. But yeah, I remember like similar, but like Metallica, exactly the same. Like they would talk about like the B and C versions of their stages, you know, in all these different countries. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, isn't that, I didn't know that was a thing until I heard it about Taylor Swift. That like
minimal bands though. Like we're talking like the pinnacle of, you know, touring artists.
Yeah.
Like that's, massive.
Yeah. Do you know any other facts about the Eras tour? Or have you heard any at all? Because I've got one more that I thought you might find interesting.
Not a fact, so I'll get yours in a second. But I think like the coolest thing is like, you know, one of the things that everyone got excited about when that came out was just like how good she is to all the people that would be doing that. We're talking about the production moving and all of like the bonuses and stuff, the truck drivers and all these things we're getting. It just seems like everyone's very well looked after, which you should be if the tour is as popular and bringing in as much money as it is.
Yeah, did you get the number? Wasn't it? Didn't she give him like $100,000 as their Christmas bonus? Oh,
yeah.
Nice. What a queen.
Very much so. What was your tip?
Oh, so you'll love this, and it's probably you're probably like, oh, I did that today. Apparently, to train for the Eras tour, Taylor would run on the treadmill while singing the set list.
I did see that.
And the set list is 3 hours.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that again, I see so many TikToks about it that she's like a high performance athlete at this stage.
Yeah.
Like this, she would have like an endurance coach, I don't know even all the names for all of it, but she must have so many people behind the scenes that are like looking after her physical health. It's insane. And there's like, I've seen videos of her like breathing in between songs and her contracting of her like ab muscles and stuff. Like she's so jacked.
Yeah.
And you just wouldn't expect that. People would just underestimate that what goes into being a pop star, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably it's not on anyone's radar at all. And then as you said, you're backing them up like quite often.
Also in heels.
Yeah.
A lot of most of the show is in heels.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Like you go to countries where the weather's ridiculously hot or like it's just crazy.
Yeah, she's done shows in the rain. I could never. She's just built different.
Well, I actually think that sounds amazing. And maybe I should do 3 hours of treadmill tomorrow to Taylor.
You're going to sing at the same time?
Fuck yeah. I'm shaking that shit off.
I knew you'd say something like that. Like, yeah, I've already done that.
She got that from me.
Anyway, you love Taylor Swift. I would love to hear the origin story of you loving Taylor Swift. Were you always a fan or did you become one later or... What's the tea?
I think it's awesome because most people don't think that I genuinely would be.
Yeah.
But I am. I think like I definitely knew her as anyone did with some of the earlier albums. But the main thing that really turned it for me is my favorite holiday of all time is we spent a month in America, which like I've wanted that trip forever. It was around the time that 1989 was coming out and was just absolutely everywhere.
Yes.
And I think like my absolute favorite thing with music and why it's one of the favorite things in life for me is just you hear a song or you see the picture of the album cover or something, it just reminds you of a time and a place. Like you can listen to anything now and you remember a time. So whenever I hear that album, it instantly takes me back to a month of the fam just in America. We drove a lot on that holiday, and obviously that was there. Flying into New York and having Welcome to New York literally playing, and then on the video I made, maybe that's why I love doing videos now, was playing. And Ella, she was 2 or 3 at the time, but she just loved, Shake It Off was everywhere, and with her getting into it, and it was that first music where me and her kind of bonded. So like it's actually super special, that album to me and that moment. So that was the one where I sort of got back and I'm like, all right, cool. To me it was more than just like a pop artist, and I guess that was her first album that went into that, but it's just a banger.
Yeah,
absolute banger.
I love that.
So that was my sort of like real cement of like, all right, cool. I can be a Swiftie now.
That's cool.
What about you?
Kind of similar in the sense that 1989 was the era that really made me become a Swiftie. Mm-hmm. Before that, I really hate to admit it, and I almost don't want to say it, but I know that other people probably can understand this or maybe even still think this way, but I feel like I used to kind of fall into the pick me vibes, and I was like anti pop music. I was like, I'm not like the other girls. I like cool music. Yeah. And I refused to like stuff that I actually did like. So I didn't even give her a chance as a teenager. I was like, ew, she's just a girl. Like, I like cool stuff. I like Metallica, like whatever. Yeah. So then, I was, I don't know, early 20s, mid 20s when 1989 came out, and it was like, fuck it, I'm just going to like what I like. This album is a banger, and she's really cool. Like, I think she kind of won me over by saying stuff like that. Like, all these people out there pretend not to be excited by things because it's not cool.
Yep.
And like, fuck what's cool. Just like what you like and just be excited about things. If you're excited about things, it's actually fine. And also the 1989 era was very like girl boss. So that really inspired me. Like, she had her girl gang everywhere, and it was just really badass and really cool. So that's what won me over. And then it's just grown every album since then. Like, she's just gets better and better. I love her.
Nice. So do you think that would be your favorite thing about Taylor Swift?
I think so. I think she gets a bit of hate and people dismiss her.
Just a little bit? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, she's just always being like dismissed as just a girl, you know. Oh, she just writes about her boyfriend. She's only famous because of all her ex-boyfriends. And even like the dating stuff that, she dates so many people. It's not that many. Calm down. Everyone writes about their exes. And I just feel like she also, everyone acts like she's too much. Like, she's too annoying. She's too cringe. She's too whatever. And then I feel like I relate to that. Like, I've always been told I'm too much. I'm like, I've got to calm down. I can't be so excited about this. And I've got to like change myself to please other people. So then I feel like that's why I've related to her so much. And it's almost like an underdog story. I don't know. Like, I think I just relate to that. And I think that's why she's so relatable to so many girls, is she just is awkward and goofy and just is herself. But she had to develop that over the years, and like, it just inspires us to be like that too. That's how I see it. Is she's gotten to a point now where she actually doesn't care what anyone thinks. She's just going to be herself. And that's what everyone should do. But unfortunately, you have to learn that over time.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite thing about Taylor Swift?
I think it's the same. It's just the resilience, right? With everything she's went through. And there was a really cool thing that popped up on TikTok the other day that she had, like, it was a speech for an award she got recently, and it was like speaking through the albums of like how the media was pushing her to change, and like how then she still did all of those things and still wasn't good enough.
I remember the speech.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was like, they wanted me to be skinny, so I got skinny. Then I was too skinny, and then they wanted me to do this, so that's right. They wanted me to not date so many men. I didn't, and then they said I was a lesbian, and then they wanted me to disappear, so I did. That speech? Yeah, pretty powerful.
But I think probably my favorite thing, and again, it's hard because she's so big now where like it's awesome she's doing this, but then I guess it's probably easier when you're so huge to do it. But like, I think her re-recording all of her stuff is just like, that's like once in a lifetime sort of stuff. Like, I just think, like, as an ex-muser, I'm just like, that's so good, where she's just sticking the middle finger to everyone in the industry, because why not? And it's easy to say, it's easy for her to do it, but at the same time, it's like, she's still done it, and no one else has really done it to the level that she's doing. And I just think that's crazy. Yeah,
like, it's such a baller move.
Massive.
And people that don't even like her are talking about it too. So it's just opening up.
In music in general. Like, doesn't matter what genre it is. Anyone would be like, you could ask the heaviest metal band, and they're like, I want all the fucking rights back to my shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's wild that was even a thing to begin with, that she didn't own the music she wrote. Yeah. And how it all happened and everything. Like, resilience is the best word for her. Everything that she's overcome is really cool.
Well, should we go on to our favourite album / era? I'm not sure if we've both given it away or if we can have different options. I've got sort of like a 3-part answer to it. Ooh. But what would your favourite album era be?
There's some that are strong contenders, but nothing has ever beaten 1989 for me. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's the nostalgia or if it just still is the best album in my eyes. But I always go back to that. That's always my fave. Yeah.
It's so boring, but I'm going to say exactly the same. Like, again, Reputation close second. I just think like where they moved from, like where she was musically, like as a drummer, like I can still listen to that. And I'm like I would love just to play live for her. Like when she went to the real dark synth pop, like there's so much space in her music. And I just think like she's got like some seriously dark but catchy lyrics. And I wrote down when I was doing the research, like I feel like I'm a track 7 onwards fan of Taylor Swift now. And that's probably just because the rest of the bangers are that overplayed.
Yeah.
But I think like those sort of from 1989 on, like most albums, like you go to those sort of mid-section of an album, and I feel like she goes all the way up to the end, and they're all really, really good tracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those two for me, and then I think like Folklore, if I was going like for a obscure one, is mine, and like I really loved. We've spoken about it, but the Disney doco where it shows like one of the things I like about her is she also plays heaps of instruments, and I think that's always like to your point earlier where it's like, oh, it's pop and it's blah blah blah. I'm like, pop's amazing, but most people that are musos or really into music are like, oh, you know, they don't write lyrics, they don't play instruments, it's all just like computers. Where you know she can play everything and writes a shit ton, and that doco was really, really cool. So
it was also cool with the Folklore and Evermore albums that she collabed with Bon Iver, who I've loved for years, and the dude from The National. Are you a fan of The National as well? Yeah, and they're amazing, and I don't know, like, to see that kind of changed it. It's like she's not just a pop artist. Like would Bon Iver like be collabing with just any pop artist? Like she clearly knows what's going on. Speaking of obscure tracks, do you have like a deep cut fave song?
You know I do.
Yeah, obviously. So track 7 onwards.
Right.
What's your fave?
Like I think currently, and probably for the last couple of years, to be honest, like it's off Folklore, and it's called This Is Me Trying. Like it's a sad song, but like I listen to it when I'm not actually sad, and I find it like crazy inspiring. There's a lot to it. Like the lyrics are super deep, and the way she delivers it, it's awesome. And the music, like I like tracks that stay like just the same level the whole time, because I feel like it has to be a really good song if you do that, because otherwise it's just super boring. And there's just something about the instrumentation in that is just next level for me. Really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. Really good song. I love that song. I personally relate to that as well. You've even joked about that. You just need to listen to this for yourself, Lucy. Like, yeah. That's not my pick for deep cut, even though it's probably close. Mine is actually from Evermore. It's 'Tis a Damn Season. I don't know what it is about that song, but I had that on repeat for a bit. And it just really hits. I just love it. Even
like those albums, like it's just crazy. Like what during COVID, pop an album out, and then like because that was both secret, right?
Yeah.
And then pop out another one.
Yeah.
And then also then follow that up, like not too much later with like quality albums back to back. Is the people just don't do that anymore.
I know. Also, do you get behind all the Swiftie conspiracy theories and Easter eggs and stuff?
No, I haven't.
I can't keep up. There's too much to keep up completely. But there was one where everyone was convinced that it was going to be Folklore, Evermore, and what was it? The third one? It was like Woodland or no, I can't think of the name now. But there was so many conspiracy theories online about that, and they were finding like she's got 3 strands of hair in the plait at the back, and then like it means it's going to be 3 albums, and like they really clutch at straws, and it's so funny. But then I fully believe it. And do you know the latest one?
What?
That the whole thing, the Eras tour is going to end, and she's going to drop an album that she actually has written. So the theory is she wrote this album just before all the rights and all the things she owned got taken away from her. So she couldn't release it then because of her not owning it or something. So she's had to wait. And apparently the album is called Karma, and everyone has these obscure things where she's like holding like the new album that's been released and one fingernail was orange. And like it's real. Like there is a lot of things where one fingernail is orange. And they're talking about like the order of her fingernails. Like she's got blue, which meant 1989. And then the next is pink for lover. And then orange. Orange is karma. And there's so much out there. And it's like you could spend days on TikTok and have all these conspiracy theories. And you start to believe it as well. It's so crazy.
Imagine for her if like she had no ideas, and like someone around her to just be like, you would literally like create so much chaos if you just took some of the fan stuff and make it legitimate.
Yeah, like she could just write this Karma album now
100%.
And like everyone would believe that it was already written years ago.
Which would then keep him so engaged because they were right.
Yeah, and then it's funny as well because like they are right a lot of the time. Like we all knew that 1989 was going to drop that night, and it was these conspiracy theories, and it was the dates lining up, and she always drops things on the 13th of the month and all this stuff. So everyone that night was like waiting on TikTok, like, is she going to announce? And she did. So it's like it's like she does it just to prove, no, you guys are right this time. So then you think you're going to be right another time. Yeah. Because now people are joking. Like, remember that time we thought there was going to be a third album after Evermore? That didn't happen. Like, it's just it's so funny. There's so much. You could...
Just free publicity for her.
Yeah.
Not that she needs any more, but...
yeah. But that's, I think, why she's so big, because all her fans feel like they're in on it. Like,
it's more than just a normal artist relationship.
Yeah, like you feel like you're part of a community. It's really cool. Yeah, speaking of all the Swiftie community, it makes me think about the buzz that's going to be in Melbourne when I'm there. She's doing 3 nights in a row. Wow. And around the exact time... in 2023 was when I was in Melbourne for Harry Styles, and it was like the whole city was just like buzzing with this energy. Like you just knew everyone was there for Harry Styles, and it was really cool. Like even going other places, not just going to the concert, like you just got a vibe. At our hotel, there was people everywhere, and you're just like, they're here for Harry. And it's just like really exciting, and I feel like that doesn't happen much. Like, yeah, I get it for things like the Australian Open, and like what else happened? Like it's
maybe the AFL Grand Final.
Yeah.
I was just going to say Melbourne. That's what I love about Melbourne. Yeah. Like I still don't think I could live there, but it's just such like the arts like mecca, right? You go there and there's always something on.
Yeah.
And right in the CBD, like it's just got a vibe to it.
It's really cool. And I'm like thinking, do any other artists achieve that kind of buzz throughout the whole entire city? Like so the only thing I've experienced is Harry Styles, and that's also the only artist I've ever travelled interstate for. And I don't know if there's many others that I really would, except for Taylor Swift. I don't know. It's just I can probably think maybe Foo Fighters, but they come to Adelaide, so it's different. But I feel like that's really exciting when they're here. But it's just not. It's not the same. I feel like no one's on the same level.
Yeah. No, like I think there's people that will do shows and have similar sized crowds and play at the same places, but not. Yeah. It is different, I guess. Like especially with her, like how people like it. They'll dress differently. They've like it is just different.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we were in Melbourne for Harry Styles, it would be like that person's wearing a cowboy hat. They're here for Harry. Yeah. Like it's just the vibe. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminds me as well. Are you on Taylor Swift TikTok?
No.
So, it just to explain the terminology there. It's like if you're on a certain side of TikTok, is what people say. So like if your algorithm is showing you, like a lot of Taylor Swift stuff, you're on Taylor Swift TikTok.
Yeah.
Whereas some people will be on the exact same TikTok and not see one thing about Taylor Swift. So anyway, you're not
I'm on the Loose and Moose side. Only.
Please be on the Loose and Moose side of TikTok. But yeah, so my TikTok transition feed in 2023 was the start of it was just Harry Styles. Everything was Harry Styles. And then it just made this perfect transition to his tour ending and then the Eras tour starting. So like halfway through the year, it's just been, I can't go on TikTok without seeing something about Taylor Swift.
Yep.
And it's just so, it's like I'm like following some kind of soap opera or something. Like it's really exciting. Like all the stuff about the concert, but then her relationship this year has been so exciting.
Yeah.
Following that, but then we didn't even know she was broken up with her long-term boyfriend when she kind of announced it. Well, she didn't even announce it. When it was made known, the theories are that they were broken up for a while because she like kind of moved on very quickly to the singer from the 1975. Have you heard about him? Do you know any of this lore?
No.
Okay, so Taylor was dating this guy Joe, who I don't even know who he is. He's like an actor or something, but for like 4 years or something. And so the song from Reputation, and it's like you must like me for me because my reputation's never been worse. That was about him.
I thought you were going to sing it then for a second. I had my hopes up.
No. And then they got together when she was in like hiding for that year or whatever. And then we kind of thought they were a good couple until they broke up, and then we realized, he's kind of a piece of shit. We don't really like him. And
because they broke up, or you had genuine reasons?
Well, it's like you realize all the reasons after, because then then she went on and she had a little, from what we see, she had a little fling with Matty Healy, who he's like pretty obviously a bit of a piece of shit. Like he's always like really drunk on stage and like just a bit crazy and has some controversial opinions. So he's very controversial. But he was kind of like you break up with your boyfriend that's been your boyfriend for a long time, and then you go a bit wild and date the crazy, dirty, smelly street rat that you like, ew. And you don't know why you do it, but it's just a rebound. But then there's all these theories that she had to do that to then find the love of her life. And everyone thinks that she's with the love of her life now and like finally. And it's Travis Kelce. So yeah, he's an NFL player. He's won 2 Super Bowls apparently, so that's a big deal. And apparently he's the love of her life. And the thing that is making us realize Joe was a bit of a piece of shit is like Travis is like, he's like showing her off and he's saying she's such a queen and he's so grateful to be with her. Whereas Joe would always like hide from the paparazzi and didn't want to talk about her. Everyone was like, are you ashamed of loving Taylor Swift? What? She's a queen. So it's really exciting. I don't even know what my point is. It's just, I'm just explaining Taylor Swift TikTok to you. That's right. So Taylor Swift TikTok went from the Eras tour stuff and to everything about her love life, and she's just taken over in 2023, and then I'm seeing her soon. It's so exciting.
And I'll just be there watching the documentary while running on the treadmill. So
are you familiar with the whole love story of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
Absolutely not. Apart from seeing her wear the red NFL jacket.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So cute, right?
It is pretty good.
It all started with a podcast.
Nice.
So Travis and his brother have a podcast, and they spoke about him going to the Eras tour on the podcast and how he had sent her a DM or something. He put it out there that he had made her, because the whole thing at the Taylor Swift concerts is you make friendship bracelets and you trade them with people.
Yep.
And he put it out there on his podcast that he had made a friendship bracelet with his number on it and wanted to give it to her. And he says this on the pod, and his brother's like, you mean like your NFL number? And he's like, no, my other number. And he said it so like such a baller. Yeah. And apparently she saw that and was like, that's metal as like, I love this dude. And then they started dating from there. And it's just like so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah,
and,
that is cool.
Sorry, what?
No, just thinking that is really cool. And just going back, did you just say that is metal?
That's literally me quoting her. She said he did that and I thought that was so metal. like badass.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I had to quote her word for word because I thought her saying that's so metal was pretty metal. I was like, yeah, what a baddie.
That's so good.
But yeah, I wonder like that whole shooting your shot thing is like pretty cool. What's your feeling on that? Hearing that from not being that invested, is that like a really cool move or is it cringe?
Well, how can we say it's cringe when it 100% worked for him?
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
Good for him, right?
And like how else, I guess like when people get to that level, it's always like, how do you even shoot a shot to someone like Taylor Swift?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I guess try your best, see what happens, see what lands.
And I love that actually. That's a really cool story.
Yeah. But then you go on the flip, you think, well, if it didn't work, it would have been cringe. So I guess the outcome is what determines whether it's cute or cringe.
Yeah. So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Will you be making Mason Cox a friendship bracelet with your number on it?
He is going to the Eras tour in Melbourne and I am too, so maybe.
He is single. He talks about it on the podcast.
And I do have a massive crush on him, so maybe. Is it time to shoot my shot? I don't know.
Fuck yeah. What's his New Year's resolution on his pod?
Yeah, he did say he wants to find a wife, so I'm available.
Got one. All right, fuck yeah. I can't wait to hear the story post the concert.
For everyone watching on YouTube, if it looks like I've been crying, it's because I have. If you didn't know, Mason Cox is an AFL player.
And Premiership AFL.
Oh, yeah.
player.
Sorry. So he plays for Collingwood and they won the Premiership in 2023. He's a pretty big deal. and have a massive crush on him. And I'm sure Moose would love to wingman that.
For sure.
Yeah. Just because he wants to see me happy, not at all anything at all about Collingwood being like one of the favourite things in his whole entire life and wanting an in with that.
That'd be a bonus, but yeah, it's not obviously what I'm manifesting.
Anyway, we'll see. But Moose, tell me, do you have a favourite concert ever? If I ask you what's your favourite concert ever, what springs to mind?
Yeah, so I do. It's the Big Day Out 1999, which I've used before, but I'm just going with Big Day Out in general. For anyone in Australia, that was the pinnacle of festivals in Australia, and in my opinion, hasn't been beaten. Like, that was just something you'd be known for. Like, summer, it's like Big Day Out. Yeah,
I miss Big Day Out so much. It was so good. That's actually mine.
Cute.
Not Big Day Out in general. Like, it is awesome, but a specific one, when Neil Young headlined, I love him so much. And it was like a really big deal that I was allowed to go. I was in year 12 and had never been to a Big Day Out before. And my dad let me go. And it was just really special to see Neil Young. It was really, really cool. So that was my favourite of all time. Probably not the actual best concert of all time, but just the feeling of seeing him was so exciting that's why it's my best.
Yep. I miss the Big Day Out days.
Yeah. Bring Big Day Out back.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Maybe Taylor Swift could play it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many awesome concerts over the years, but I have a feeling that the Eras tour will take over best concert ever. Like, surely I'm going to have the night of my life. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I think when this episode drops, I'll be packing, getting ready to go to Melbourne.
So exciting.
For the Eras tour. I'm so excited. Hopefully there's some people watching or listening that are as excited about Taylor Swift and the Eras tour as I am. Comment your favourite era, I think, album/era, and why. Or any other comments about Taylor Swift, we'll take them.